Let's have a play about with the lights here, shall we? Oh, it's a bit dark. Hello, anyone that's joined in. Hope you're doing. Hope you can hear me okay. I'm trying my laptop for the first time. I've never done a live stream or anything on my laptop. So we'll give it a go. I've had this laptop about 10 years. Hope everyone's doing well today. Going to be waiting for a few people to turn up. I've got one like, 2 people at the moment. And let me just try putting the main light on. Hang on. Let's see what that's like. Is that a bit better? See me a bit better? And we'll turn. Oh, we're all learning. We're all learning on the job. You turn that off. Now it's too dark. So let's have a play about with the lights while we're waiting for everyone. I have no idea who's going to turn up today. That'll be all right, I think. Lights, camera, action, guys. How is everyone doing today? We got a chat bar on the right-hand side. Got my old HD camera here from the laptop. This is cool. If this works out all right, I can start doing some lives. Just keep using my laptop to do the lives, you know what I mean? Instead of my phone all the time. Turn it off, reflecting. Cool. Right, so let's begin. So anyone that messaged me, I'll say hello on the comments, but I'm going to start today. I think I might. Don't know. Do you reckon glasses on, glasses off, guys? Let's have a look. I reflect the screen there. That's all right. I think I'd best take them off. There we go. Right, so today we're going to talk about my time. I've already talked about growing up in Aldershot and getting in fights and stuff and getting in trouble and hanging around with mates. And I've already talked about my army days, everything that we were doing when I was in the army. So today's live is going to be about when I was a semi-professional singer, guitar player, DJ, doing DJing and karaoke in the pubs and clubs and working for a DJ company. So before I start that, I'm going to put on the chat, let's try something. I'm going to type hello and we'll see what that does. Cool. It worked. Who knew? So, yes. So when I was leaving the army, I left the army to be a musician. I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be a songwriter. I wanted to do this, wanted to do that. I had complete free reign of everything I wanted to do in life, and I wanted to pursue music. Now, the first gig I ever did, I didn't even have my own kit. Hi, Stuart. Thanks for joining. I didn't even have my own kit. Okay, I think I borrowed a guitar from someone, borrowed a couple of speakers from someone, and turned up to my first gig literally knowing probably 6 chords, maybe 7 chords at best on the guitar. And the first gig I ever did was at a pub called the Rising Sun in Aldershot, okay? Owned by this bloke at the time called Derek. And I went around the pubs with a business card and that, touting for work. So I used to go to people and say, yeah, I'll do gig, 3 hours, playing guitar and singing for 100 quid cash. Yeah, I used to go around the pubs and the clubs doing this, trying to get gigs. And the first gig I ever did was at the Rising Sun pub in Aldershot. Hello, Wilmot's Ground and Sports Ground Services. And Lucy. My wife, that is Lucy. So yeah, I turned up to this pub, right? And it was one of the roughest pubs in Aldershot. Okay, it was like, if people didn't know you, don't go drinking in that pub. Do you know what I mean? You pick a window, mate, and get chucked out of it. So anyway, I turned up, set me kit up in the corner, and mate said, "Yeah, 100 quid for 3 hours. We'll do a gig." And he goes, "If you're any good, I'll ask you to play on more. See now if the pub likes you or not." And let me tell you, if the pub didn't like me, I would be picking a window, mate. Even though I could look after myself, it was that kind of pub. But anyway, I turned up and I'm tuning the guitar up, right, and it's red hot inside this pub because it's a small little pub, and it's freezing cold outside. So I've got this guitar that I'm using. I've turned up with some like rock electric guitar because I didn't have my own kit at the time, and I could barely tune a guitar, let alone like play chords and stuff. And I I tuned it up inside. And for those that don't know, temperature can affect if a guitar stays in tune. So I tuned it up inside the guitar, got it in tune. No, outside the pub, I got it in tune. Then I went inside the pub, started playing. It was all out of tune. And then I thought, "Oh, what?" So I went back outside the pub, tuned it back up again. I thought, right, it's in tune. Gone back in, it's out of tune. And this is how inexperienced I was on my first gig. I didn't know that temperature affected the guitar. So I was tuning it up in the cold and it was going out of tune in the warm. So I finally figured out to tune it in the inside, and we'd done all right, but I could barely hear myself because it was a small pub and everyone was like talking, this, that, and everything else. So anyway, started playing the gig, and it weren't no favourite songs that people knew. It was just songs that I like playing because, like I said, I didn't have a clue. I'd never gigged in my life, so I was quite nervous. And I went round there, and I'm getting through the gig, and I'm thinking, right, it's a 3 hour gig, so I should have like a 20-minute, 30-minute break, like halfway through. So I got to the halfway point, and I played every song that I knew. The little set list that I had, I only had about 30 songs, 20, 30 songs in the set list. Right, I played every song that I knew, and I went through fast, probably because I was nervous. So I got to the halfway point, and I thought, shit, I've run out of songs. What am I going to do? I've only got a 20-minute break. I've run out of songs. So I thought to myself, well, these lot look like they're pretty pissed up. So I thought I'd just start at the beginning again. And I went back to the beginning of the set list and just started playing the songs I already played in the first half. And the funniest thing was, I played the songs once, I played the songs a second time, and when I come to the end of the set, I went, "Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, good night," and everyone was having a good time. They obviously liked me singing and stuff. Literally, I was a three chord wonder. Do you know what I mean? No expert guitar going on, especially at my first gig. And I got to the end of the 3 hours, and just finishing the last song, the landlord, Derek, comes up to me and goes, "Oh, can you play for another hour? I'll pay you another 20 quid." And I was speaking to myself, "Yeah, sure, cool, yeah, I'll do another hour." And so I'd already played for all my songs twice, and he said play for another hour. So I went back to the beginning of the song list and started playing that again. And then I realised on my next gig, I need to have double the amount of songs, because when you're in a pub and people are looking at you, you're singing a song, you can't take too much gap in between the songs that you're doing. So you're churning out song after song after song, so they go really quick. So yeah, that's what I learned at my first gig. And that was sort of the Rising Sun. Now I started playing guitar and singing around the pubs and clubs, but then I also became a DJ, a karaoke DJ. Had loads of music, downloaded some DJ software, and yeah, thought, right, there's a big karaoke scene on at the moment. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to start doing karaoke. I'm going to start doing that, and then I could charge more for a gig. So I started charging 150 quid a gig. And I think it was 120 quid for 3 hours, and then 20 quid an hour after that. But it always went on for like 4 or 5 hours. So it was only good money. Now, some of the pubs, if you've never been to Aldershot, some of the pubs, like one of the pubs in Aldershot, there was a TV show called Hardest Pubs in Britain by Phil Mitchell of EastEnders, and the number one hardest pub in Britain was the Pegasus pub in Aldershot, the Paratrooper Bar. voted #1 hardest pub, as in like you're gonna get smashed up, like, you know, if you're not a paratrooper and that. So anyway, I thought it'd be a good idea to go in there with a business card and say, yeah, looking for gigs. And I'm like, yeah, great. We've been looking for someone to gig here for ages because everyone else is too scared to gig there. No one wanted to gig there because they'd be getting their kit smashed up and they'd be getting smashed in. I was, when I first started gigging out, I was army anyway. So, you know, I was built like a tank and could look after myself. But I went in there, and this is just what happened on one of the gigs. It's such a small space. It was like a narrow pub, probably about 12 foot wide max. 12 foot wide max, all the way up the pub until you got to the pool table at the end. And I was by the front door. And anyway, we're gigging, we're DJing and all this, doing karaoke, and everyone's singing, having a good time. And the doors of the pub are open so everyone can see on the high street kind of thing. And then this one geezer comes up, right? And I knew him from, I didn't know, I wasn't friends with him, but I knew of him from school, and he was like a local hard man. And he come up, he's, oh, and he goes, put this song on. I went, yeah, mate, not a problem, I'll put this song on. I said, just let me get these couple of singers out, I'll put your song on, not a problem. He goes, put my song on now, or I'm going to pour this pint over your laptop. Right? So he's saying, if I don't put his song on right now, he's going to pour his pint over my laptop and blow me kit up. Right? So I think I just stood up to him and I said, I know you are. I said, if you pour that pint over my laptop, we're going to have a bit of trouble. I'll put your song on in about 2-3 songs. Have a good night, mate. And he went to lift his pint up like this. Went to lift his pint up to pour it over me kit. I think I just pushed it out of his hand. It smashed on the ground and just stood there, looked at him. I went, there you go, there's your pint. Do you still want your song on? And he chuckled to himself like he was about to kick off. But then the landlord, seeing and everyone else saw that he was being a knob. And then he went and got another pint. I think the landlord gave him another pint free of charge, so he didn't kick off. But he didn't pour the beer on my laptop, and the gig carried on. But that's what it was like. It was one of those pubs, yeah. There's loads of pubs like that, loads. And I'm going to tell you stories about pub fights I've been in whilst gigging, people kicking off, and it's crazy. But it was fun at the same time. It's exhilarating. You know, I'm going around, I'm doing gigs for free, 4 hours, getting 150 quid. And this is back in 2008, 2009, yeah. So it was good. So another pub, that was the Pegasus. Now, another pub that I used to DJ at was called the Unicorn. And there was a rival karaoke company in Aldershot called Rainbow Karaoke. I get on with the fellas. We left on good terms, but at the time it was quite heated. Now, for those who don't know about karaoke, different hosts of karaoke have different followers. So my karaoke, I had a certain amount of people that turned up to my gigs and would just sing on my system and be at my gigs. And then this other one, Rainbow, they had people, they're more established than me because they've been doing it years. And they had people turn up to their gigs. So you'd like a strong following for Rainbow and a strong-ish following for me. Anyway, they used to gig at a pub called the Unicorn in Grosvenor Road, right? I think it was on it might have been a Saturday or Sunday, yeah? Saturday, Sunday night. They used to gig at the pub called Unicorn, Grosvenor Road. And I used to gig at a pub called the Alex. And we'd both be gigging at the same time. So it was a competition to see who had the most amount of singers at the karaoke and who was the most popular. And what they would do, because people just wanted to sing all night, and whatever gig they would go to, they would put a song in at my karaoke, they'd sing their song, know that they've got to wait an hour before they can sing again. So they sing a song at my karaoke, then they go straight down to the other pub, sing the same song at the other pub's karaoke. And they do like that because the pubs are only about 400 meters away from each other. So they do a song at my gig and they do a song at the other mate's gig, and they just bounce between it all night. Anyway, the landlord that I was working for, Richard at the time, hi Han. Hello. I'm just telling them a story.
Okay.
The landlord that I was gigging for at the time, Richard, he owned the Alex pub. And Paul owned Unicorn pub. I used to go to school with Paul, so I kind of knew him. Anyway, what would happen? Thanks, then, yeah, very good. What would happen is the landlord that I was working for stitched me up. Okay, I was gigging, and he, on the last night he paid me, started getting funny about the money on one of the gigs. He turned around and goes, oh yeah. He goes, oh yeah. He goes, oh, I'd rather have rainbow karaoke. He just said it as a flippant comment while he was having a drink. I'd rather have rainbow karaoke. I was like, all right, fine. It's up to you, mate. Whatever. See you later. Right. And he never said he was going to get rainbow or this or that. He just said it as a flippant comment. So anyway, I get a phone call a couple of days later, and he turns around and says, yeah, don't need you anymore, mate. We're using another karaoke company. I was like, right, okay, not a problem. So I drive past, and outside the pub, there's a big sign up saying, welcome to Rainbow Karaoke. Luce, could you close the door, please, love? Yeah. It said, welcome to the Alex Pub in Aldershot, home of great karaoke by Rainbow Karaoke, right? Didn't tell me or nothing. I found out by this, okay? So I thought, oh, right, he's proper stitched me up here, and he's proper tapped into this competition thing between Jam Entertainments, which is my company, and Rainbow Karaoke, yeah? So he's proper stitched me up and got Rainbow Karaoke. So I've seen that. Now, remember, the pub that Rainbow Karaoke were working at before, I knew the landlord. He was a year above me in school. So I knew him, right? So I went down to that pub because obviously Rainbow Karaoke, they're great guys, by the way. I'll get on with them now. But this is just a story about the time of what happened. They'd obviously stitched him up because they'd gone to the other pub instead of gigging at his place. Yeah. So I saw that as an opportunity and went to the pub that they were gigging at the same night and said to him, look, I've been stitched up because Rich has booked Rainbow. I said, do you want me to gig at your pub and I'll bring my following to your pub? And he went, yeah. So what you had was, on the Sunday night, one of the landlords, thinking he was clever, stitching me up, but all he did is put me in the other pub and had the same competition going on the Sunday night karaoke, you know, so it was pointless. But that's just what it was like. It was cutthroat industry, backstabbing, but you know, there was good following, this and that, and kicked off. Mate, I've had people kick off just because I haven't put their song on the karaoke. One night, the security had to chuck this girl out. She come on, and bearing in mind, she'd sung about 3 songs this evening, right? It started at about 7:30, and it was about midnight, something like that. She'd sung about 3 songs, and she wanted another song on, but it was a packed pub. So I had to keep putting people, like, you know what I mean? Other people, give them a chance to sing, to be fair. Anyway, comes to the end of the night, I said, thank you, good night. She's come up to me when I'm packing my kit up. She's gone, Justin, why didn't you put my song on? I went, oh, what? You said you sang 3 times, mate. She went, no, Justin, why didn't you put my song on? I've been waiting all night to sing that song, and you didn't put it on. And she's getting louder and louder. Right? You didn't put it on. There's an louder. Anyway, the female security guards come over because it's a rough pub to be able to security on there. And they said to her, look, calm down, love, calm down. He's done his karaoke. He's done the best he can. Chill out. She went, no. Anyway, she gets dragged by her hair, chucked out the pub, kicking off because I didn't put her 4th song on because I couldn't get around to it because there's so many people. And that's what it was like. It was funny, right? It was entertaining, and you earned a good bit of money out of it. That's what it was like. Yeah, you're either fighting someone, friends with someone, or someone's planned to kick off behind your back. Anyway, so that happened there. And when I was down at Unicorn Pub, one of the little ass kissers of Rainbow, his name was Alan, this old boy, he didn't work for him. He just helped him out now and again, and he was all over him. He's like, oh, you're the best karaoke in the world. And they were good. They were very good karaoke, right? But because I was working at the Unicorn now, and they were working at the Alex, he come, when I was gigging in there, he came bolting through the front door of the Unicorn, and we had one of the best bouncers at the time working on the door. And he came bolting through the thing, like trying to be calm, but he was pent up. And he comes straight up to me and goes, "What are you doing right up to like the booth, the DJ booth. What are you doing karaoke here? Rainbows around the corner." Like, proper in my face. Anyway, he was in the bar 20 seconds before the security guard went up to him, grabbed him by there, mate, choked him right there and grabbed him and just, he's getting dragged out by his heels kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? And then it was all kicking off and people were turning up because that's how strong the following was for this other karaoke. And they didn't like it that other people were coming to our pub to sing on our system and, you know, our system. So that was a little bit of a gigging in Aldershot. And what that geezer did, you know what he did? When I was gigging in the pub, he lit me tyres down on my car outside. I come to the end of the gig, loaded up, he lit the tyres down on my car. And I was wondering, I said, who's done that? I reckon it was him, but I weren't sure. Anyway, he come up, because we're all friends now. I haven't seen him in years, but we all ended as friends. He come up to me and admitted it to me. He goes, you know that night that your tyres were lit down? He goes, yeah, I lit your tyres down. He goes, I'm really sorry. So, you know, I accepted his apology, but a bit of a twat letting someone's tyres down. Do you know what I mean? So that's what it was like starting gigging, karaokeing, DJing, singing, playing guitar. That's what it was like at Aldershot. Anyway, when I was gigging around there, I also went further afield. So I started gigging in Southampton later on when I relocated to Southampton, but I actually went out to Basingstoke. Okay, and I was gigging in Basingstoke, and there was a pub there called the New Inn, right, run by Stuart and Sharon. Lovely people, lovely pub. I went down there, touting for business, walked in the bar, gave them a card, so yeah, do a gig, 120 quid for 3 hours, £20 an hour after that. And it was right time, right place, because they'd just fallen out with their DJ that was down there, and they had DJing on a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday, right? And they'd fallen out with a DJ. So I walked in, and let me just answer this quickly. Lee Webster, hey Justin, ignore your hate you've been getting. Don't even let them know you've seen their comments. Cheers, Lee Webster. You're a legend, mate. Thank you very much. Love the support. So yeah, I've got in this pub, and they booked me, and they said, yeah. Well, if you come on, we'll put you on a Friday, and we'll see how you get on. Anyway, turn up Friday, absolutely smashed it. Club it, doing a bit of karaoke, everything else, really good, and was putting out a really good night. So anyway, they booked me up on a Friday and a Saturday and a Sunday, and then I had other DJs working for me, and I put them in my other pubs that I had on my books, and I'd take like 20, 30 quid for getting them the gig on a regular. And I had a DJ there. Some nights I had 4 or 5 different DJs at different pubs whilst I was DJing. So I'd earn like 150, maybe 200 quid a gig, like where I was gigging, and then take 20 quid, 30 quid from all the other gigs. So I was turning over 300 quid a night just DJing, yeah. But it was really good. But yeah, that New Inn pub, mate, that had some fights going on there, because I always, where I found the opportunity to gig was always in the roughest areas, because a lot of DJs were scared to DJ at these kind of pubs because they couldn't handle themselves, or they didn't want the grief. They just didn't have the backbone for it. So I would gig at these places, and there'd always be work for me, you know. And that's how I started. But I'll never forget one night at the New Inn pub. I felt like I was an Ibiza. Do you know what I mean? Like I wasn't like a proper DJ, but I was a DJ and I could earn money from it. But I remember one night after the karaoke finished, we finished the karaoke about 11:30, and then they said, "Oh, can you put a DJ set on?" And I went, "Yeah, not a problem." So I put 90s dance tracks on, and I had my lasers going, the smoke machines, the lights, everything going, and I had this music going, and a full blast at midnight in this pub. And I looked up, right? I was down here DJing, and I looked up over the laptop I was DJing off, and all you can see is everyone in the pub. And the pub's packed. See, this is all the people in the pub. Everyone's going like, doo, 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 doo. All their hands are in the air, and the music's, the drinks are flying up in the air, and everyone's having a cracking time, mate. I'm playing like old UK garage classics and dance club music and all this. And it was amazing. And just for that little moment, I felt like I was in Ibiza. Do you know what I mean? And there was free drinks behind the bar. So, you know, couldn't get any better. But that was me gigging in Aldershot and Basingstoke. Let me just have a little sip of me water. Thank you for the nice comments, everyone. I appreciate it. And I'm going to tell you about a massive pub fight in Guildford in a minute. Let me just say hello to my lovely ladies. How are we doing, girls?
Yeah, I'm good.
You having a good time? What you been up to?
My test went
Well done. Hannah's had a biology test. She's done
No,
well. She's come
Hi, guys.
environmental science test. So Hannah's just done well at college. Lucy's here, you right, Lucy?
Yeah, I'm good.
For everyone, we're going to be putting out a lot of these singing videos. You're going to hear.
Molly, shush.
You're going to hear Hannah sing. You're going to hear Lucy sing, and you're going to hear me sing. And we're going to be putting various videos out. Okay. Just like you saw with Gangster's Paradise last night, I wanted to have a laugh with it and just show everyone that YouTube, let's keep it fun. Everyone's so serious about what they're doing. And like my mate Lee Webster said there, you know, ignore the haters and just the positive comments, please. But yeah, so we're all singers. Okay, we all sing. It's one of our greatest talents is singing. So we're going to put some videos together of some songs that you can sing along to. The words are on the screen. So what song do you reckon you're going to sing when we do your first one?
Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit.
Break. Look out for Hannah. She's going to be doing Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit. Yeah, maybe. And Lise, what were you doing?
I think I'll play it safe and do a Shania Twain.
Shania Twain, popular, you know.
No, you should do Celine Dion.
Celine Dion.
That's powerful. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but she blasts Celine Dion
so
upstairs.
Anyway, we're going to be doing.
Can do it.
Yeah,
so I reckon she should.
We're going to be putting out songs on the regular that you can sing along to. Complete entertainment. If you what the score is with it, it's not trying to be the best singer in the world. What it's trying to do is deliver a good vocal is something you can sing along to, and if you're laughing as well, it means you're enjoying it, and that's what we want to do. We want to entertain people.
I love that Gangster's Paradise.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Gangster's Paradise,
that was so funny.
It's funny, mate.
You even had the sunglasses.
Yeah, I have my sunglasses on, my little hat on. It was good. But anyway, let's get back to the story.
I'm gonna get some lunch.
Right, so Guildford. I've been booked by a mate of mine. Okay, he said this is local girl's birthday party. Yeah, she says, and we need a DJ, and it's my good mate Frank, who used to turn up to me open mic gigs, and he said, yeah, just come up, mate. 100 quid. Do us a deal, mate. He said 100 quid. Do a disco for 3 hours, just a disco, and he says crack on. Now this pub was called the Apple Tree in Guildford. Okay, I've never been there, didn't know nothing about it, but it turned out to be just as rough as a lovely pub, but just as rough, and you're going to find out why in a minute, as all the other pubs I played in, because like I said, I used to specialize in rough pubs because I could always get work there. So, Luz, could you close the door quickly, darling? Yeah. Can you close the door, sweet? Thank you.
What, can you hear me talking?
Yeah, I'll just please. So, yeah, so this pub, Apple Tree, says, right, it's this girl's 18th, 19th birthday. He says, I want you to do a bit of guitar, he said, actually, and disco. So I've turned up, set up, and I'm singing guitar, yada, yada, da, 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 oh, yeah, right? No one's really listening. Like most gigs, everyone's getting pissed up. Everyone's having a good time, right? So anyway, he goes, right, I'll go, that's it for the guitar. Now we're going to put some DJing on, do some DJing. So I'm putting some music on, and I can see at the back of the bar, right, there's a certain few getting on the juice, like getting on the, you know what I mean? Getting sauced up, mate, on the beer and shots and everything, and they're getting louder and louder and everything else. And anyway, the birthday girl comes out. She is it's like 9 o'clock. Yeah, 9 o'clock in the evening. Only been gigging 2 hours, and she is absolutely smashed off her head, mate. Right, she's walked through the pub. She's tripped over, and she's got this low cut top on. And as she's tripped over, she's pulled her top down. Her boobs have come out in front of everyone in the pub. And she sat there on the floor, her boobs out, pissed up, going, oh, like this. And her boyfriend's come over, pulled her top back up. Oh, absolute shit state. Right. But anyway, this one lad, there's this big guy, you know, the big bully boys you get at the bar. You know, the big guys are like this, they stood at the bar, they're not really saying much, they're drinking. And what they're looking for, yeah, as in my experience of being in lots of bars, they're looking for the skinny lad they can bully at the bar. Yeah, they're looking for the skinniest lad at the bar. And anyway, this night, this geezer's picked the wrong matey. The big guy's got tanked up, and he's gone, "Oh, you're effing this, you're effing that" to this lad, and this lad's gone, "Oh yeah, all right." But little does he know that this lad had been doing a bit of gear in the toilets, right? He's off his head, right? He's amps up, let's just say, and he's had a drink,
Right.
and he's so just a quick one before going on. Luce, when you looked at this live, was the sound coming through okay?
I couldn't see. Do you want me to have a quick look?
Yeah, have a quick look. Yeah, just going to check. Keep on with the story. We're just going to check the sound's coming through okay.
Hang on.
But mate, this is the worst pub fight I've ever been to in my life. Yeah, it's coming through. Cheers, Luce. Chop visibly work. That sounds good. Cheers, guys. Thank you for helping me. Like I say, I'm using my laptop for the first time, and it's about 10 years old, so we're all good. Right. So anyway, I go into this pub, and matey's gobbed off at this lad. Yeah, the big guy's gobbed off at the little one, thinking he can bully him, and this little lad's just walked past, and he's just looked at him, right? He's just turned around, imagine like a bit like Terminator. He's turned around and gone, "Yeah, all right, yeah." Grabs his pint, literally, he's had a sip out of this pint, so it's full up pint, and he's just gone, smashed it, right? Like literally not over his head, but thrown it at his head from about a meter away, 2 meters away. It's hit matey on the head. Matey's gone down. There's blood pissing out of his head, right? And mate's gone, "Yeah, you wanna effing bully me? Blah 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 blah. Come on in, you CUNT." Right? Kicked off, and when I say it kicked off. The guy, this young lad, right, who threw this pint at the big guy, didn't know that the big guy was the father of the boyfriend of the girl whose birthday party it was. Yeah. So he smashed it like this, and then he just went outside in the beer garden having a fag, right, saying, "I've just smashed him down." The matey's on the floor. Anyway, the boyfriend of the girl whose party it was, someone's gone through, "Oh, matey's just been glassed, blah, blah, blah. Come out here, do this. Matey's just been glassed." And the pub was split into two bits with the sports area and the main drinks area. All of a sudden, through the door, right opposite end to where I'm DJing, they've all come through, mate. And I'm talking another 20, 30, 40 people come through this door. And the boyfriend has come through with a pool cue. He's snapped the pool cue in half, right? Like this, gone to go after the lad at the door. My mate Frank's come from behind the bar and go, "Don't, no, don't." Everyone's rushed. Matey's gone first into this garden. My mate Frank, he's about 5'4", 5'5", right? But you don't want to fight him. You don't want to fight him, mate. Right? And he's gone after this lad and gone, "Why don't do it." And all you've seen is everyone rush into this beer garden, mate. He's getting back with the pool cue. People are fighting. There's claret all over the heads. Mate, absolute carnage. So obviously, at this point, I've figured out what's the best thing I could do in this situation. So I get on the DJ stand and I put Eye of the Tiger on from Rocky. And I turn it up full blast. So as they're all fighting, all you can hear in the background is digga 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 dig, dig dig dig, like that, and it's kicked off, and they're all fighting to Rocky, and then Frank's coming and says, "Just turn that effing music off." Right, I've got it out there for about a minute. It was funny. I turned down. I said, "Right, ladies and gents, that's the end of the night. Take care." And I'm stood in front of my gear. Like, imagine the gear's behind me. I'm stood in front of my gear, so nobody comes. Like, pushes it, smashes it up. Oh, mate, that was a night and a half. I got my money. I said, "Frank, mate, I'll see you later. Like, if you want any more gigs here, get someone else with it. I'm not interested." Because that was like the worst it ever kicked off, mate, in my life. And that was the Apple Tree in Guildford. And then all the police got called, everything else. Oh, man, absolute mental. Now, I've just remembered another massive fight that we had. So that one was up there. That was like, I'll probably say equal to this next story I'm going to say. So anyway, when I was playing guitar and singing in pubs and clubs, this couple walked in, yeah. I think his name was John, and her name was Mary. I think it was, and they were travellers, okay. And I know loads of travellers, love them, get on with them, amazing people. I think they've got a really bad look in the press. You know, it's like any kind of people, any different section of people. You get good people and you get bad people. Anyway, these were good people. And I used to do a bit of wedding photography at the time. And what I'd do is I'd package together. I'd say, look, if you book us for a bit of singing, DJing, karaoke, yeah. If you book us, hang on a minute, my phone's going off. You just turn my phone off, Liz. Yeah, I'd say, look, you book us for the guitar, you book us for singing and a bit of karaoke, then I'll do your photos as well. And I used to have a nice Nikon camera, go around, take the wedding photos, and I'd package it all together, just book us for the one thing, 850 quid for the evening. And then I'd give them a wedding album with 50 A4 size photos printed, edited, and they get all the entertainment for free. So anyway, John and Mary booked me for their wedding, right? And they got married at Salisbury Cathedral. And we turned up and it was carnage at the wedding, yeah? So we're going in there, I'm taking photos and this and that. And then the priest is saying, oh, I don't want your flash on the photos because it's in the church. And I'm like, good one, so you're gonna muck up all my photos. But all the travellers were in there and all the kids were running riot during the wedding. Like the guy was reading out all the bits, you know, for getting married and that. He was reading it all out, and the kids were going up behind him, pulling him, pushing him, and this and that. Was funny, man. I was laughing my head off. So funny. And they had a good wedding that, but it was already kicking off at the wedding stage. Okay. Now, for those that don't know, I'm about to educate you. So, at every traveller wedding or wedding reception or gypsy wedding, whatever, if the guys ring up, and this is wrong, right? I think this is wrong. If the gypsy family or the traveller family ring up and they say, "Oh, hello, yeah, we are so and so, and we'd like to have a wedding reception at your venue," okay? If the venue found out they were gypsies or found out they were travellers, they wouldn't book them, right? They wouldn't book them because they just straight away assume that it's going to kick off. There's going to be loads of trouble, which is wrong. And they wouldn't let them book their wedding reception there. And everyone's got a chance of happiness. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter who we are, mate, or where we are in life, right? You should not stereotype people and not allow them to enjoy their wedding day, and they're paying you good money, you know. So how the gypsies and the travellers get around this, they get someone to book it, speaks all proper and everything else, like very posh, like you wouldn't suspect them to be travellers or anything. And they booked this massive golf course up right outside of Salisbury, right? And it is a big country club, this and that. And these travellers must have spent tens of thousands of pounds on this wedding, right? Because we rock up and everyone rocks up en masse. And then all of a sudden, this country club, they've done all the catering, they've got the cake out, they've got the beer, they've got the staff. And then everyone turns up en masse. And I'm talking like 100 different cars, including me. Everyone turns up en masse for the wedding reception, and it's too late to cancel it. They can't cancel it, okay? And that's how you get your wedding reception. So that's how you get around it. Anyway, I turn up at this wedding reception, and fair play, man. If you've ever been to a gypsy wedding or traveller's wedding, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. We went in the main hall. All the tables are in long lines. Yeah, there's not like a head table and little round tables. They're all in long lines. Yeah, long lines. Everyone sits down. Everyone eats. Really good. And at the back, they had this massive wedding cake. And I'm telling you, right, it was set out on these tables. Must have been 15 foot, 20 foot long tables at the back of this room. And it had a massive castle cake, little water feature inside the castle cake, all these other cakes, thousands of pounds worth of cake and food and stuff like that. It's absolutely mind blowing. and I'm photoing all of it because I'm doing the photography. Anyway, everyone's coming in, everyone's eating. I'm playing a bit of guitar, singing. Once everyone's had their food, then there's the big divide. Okay, and this is the divide. All the men go to the bar, right? They're still at the bar, they're drinking, they're not mingling with the women at all. All the women are on a dance floor, okay, or sat by themselves. There's no bloke standing with the women. All the blokes separate, getting drunk. All the women are on a dance floor, okay? So anyway, earlier in the night, it's okay. And I'm playing guitar, singing, and then they want the DJ. They want, come on, put some DJ music on, party music. So I put the party music on, and then that's when things get leery, mate. I put the music on, and everyone's dancing, this, that, and everyone else. But then the blokes are starting to get a bit rowdy. Like one of them's annoyed the other one from like a past deal or owes him money or kicks off. And it's getting leery inside the place, and it's coming to the end of the gig, right? And half an hour before the end of the gig, it's like the apocalypse happens in this massive country club, right? It kicks off. Someone throws a pint, someone kicks off, someone starts fighting, someone from another family starts fighting, and you know what it's like, prove honor amongst their name, the family name, they're fighting. Anyway, I'm down in my kit. I've been paid. I'm loading up my Land Rover at the time. Down in kit, putting it in. I'm going in the car park, and the fights come out to the car. It's like it's followed me, right? It's out in the car park, and there's blokes hitting blokes, women hitting women, women hitting blokes, blokes hitting women. Absolute carnage, right? And this one girl, she blood all down her face. This other bloke, he had blood all over him, mate. Absolute nightmare. I got back in my car. I said, "Yeah, I'll send you my photos in a week. See you later." Got out of there, and all the police were called. You know, so it's proper like proper dodge. And there's loads of pub fights, loads of club fights that I did. I'm glad I remembered that because that was a really good story. And they turned up later, and I gave them all their photos, and they were happy. So yeah, that was that one. I'm just marking it off my little list, guys. I can't remember. So another fight that was personal to me, right? This geezer just didn't like me. I was in this pub, can't remember the name of it. It's on Grosvenor Road, Aldershot. And I'm playing guitar, and it's an open mic. So anyone can turn up, anyone can sing, play guitar, do what they want to do, and join in with the evening, basically. And if nobody turned up, it would just turn into an acoustic set with me singing. Anyways, this big, baldy geezer at the bar, probably about 20 stone, 22 stone. And I weighed about 14 stone at the time, just so you get a difference in size. 14, 15 stone at the time. Anyway, you can see him across the bar. And you know when you're playing, or when you just stood at the bar and you turn over and you've just caught someone's eye and you can catch that they're looking at you and then they turn away. That's what he was doing all night. Anyway, I've come up. He's walked past me, really annoyed. He's gone to the toilets, and I'm playing a song, and I'm halfway through a song, and he walks back out of the toilet, and he goes, squares up to me whilst I'm singing a song. Like literally, the only thing between us is a microphone. Squares up to me and goes, "You're effing this, that." I must have annoyed someone he knew or something, and he was there, mate. He goes, "You're this, you're that, blah 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 blah." So anyway, it's fight or flight, isn't it? What are you going to do? Am I going to stand there and say, "Oh no, don't"? It's just not who I am. Okay. So anyway, he's come up to me, "Why you're blah 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 blah," and I've literally, within 2 seconds of him doing it, got my guitar off, which has still got the cracks on it to this day. Took my guitar off. I went, "Gaz," across the room. I went, "Gaz, catch this." Threw my 400-pound guitar across the guitar about 10 meters. I went, "Catch me, catch it." And he went, caught it best he could, and it cracked on the side. And as I've thrown the guitar like that, I've grabbed matey by there, and I've just pulled him down to where my kit is because he's just about to throw a punch. So I've lost my guitar, gone like that, thrown him down, grabbed me microphone, anything I could, grabbed me microphone and start battering him with his microphone. Right, because I'm trying to get as many digs in as I can, because I know if he starts hitting me, you know, it's over 20 stone behind those punches. So I've gone bam, 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 and I've managed to get 5 or 6 out, and he's punching back like this, and he's hit my jaw. And bearing in mind I'm a singer, he's just cracked me in the jaw. And I've done this and I've done that, and we're rolling about, and everyone in the pub's come over, split us up, and then I'm outside and he's inside, right? And one of my mates that I was with at the time called the police. Okay, so the police and the ambulance turned up at the pub, right? And bearing in mind, I've still got to go back in this pub because all my kit is still in there. Could be doing anything to it. So we've been split up. Police turn up. Landlord goes, "Oh, did you call the police?" I just said no. I said, one of my mates says. I said, anyway, you should be calling the police because your pub's just been smashed up, mate, with me in it. You know, you've got no security on or anything. Anyway, police turn up. And I said, what happened? I said, I'm gigging, mate. He just come out and punched me. Do you know what I mean? I don't even know who it is. He just come up and punched me in the thing, punched me in the mouth. So anyway, he looks at me like that. He goes, right, I'm just going to go in the pub, see what happens. Goes up to matey in the pub. Matey's got cut here, cut here, cut here, cut here. Right, the end of my microphone. Say that's my microphone was all dented in where I've just grabbed it and gone, right, get away from me, like, you know. And the copper's come back out and he's gone, well, he said, well, look, he said, I'm going to be honest with you. He said, if you want to press charges, we can. But he says, if you press charges, you're going to be the one that gets in trouble because you haven't got a mark on your face and his is cut up to bits. Yeah. He said, they'll just take a photo of your face, take a photo of his face, and then they'll say who's in the wrong. And then bearing in mind, everyone in the pub's his mate, so they're going to back up everything he said. So I said, yeah, just forget about it then. I said, I'll get me kit out and I'll go. And it was the last gig I ever did at that. But I got all my kit out, got paid, shot off, mate. And that's what it was like, you know, people just randomly starting on you. You know what I'm talking about when you go to the pubs, and it don't even need to be a rough pub. When you go to the pubs and you've got people there that just want to kick off. Yeah, they just want to kick off. They're looking for someone they can have a bash with so they can show off in front of their mates how hard they are. Bit of backfired on him on that night, did it? But wish him all the best. Lovely chap. So that was that. Looking at me things here. I hope you're all enjoying this. Mention anything in the comments if you want. Yeah, so along with DJing by myself and singing and playing guitar, I used to work for a couple of agencies that did DJing. Now there was two. There was City Nights Discos, run by a guy called Vern in Reading. And this geezer, mate, he was a DJ himself, but he must have had 30, 40 DJs on his book, right? And how it would work is people would book a gig through him on his website. He'd charge him 500, 600, 700 quid for a gig. And he'd book us DJs up and pay us like 200 quid for the gig. He goes, oh, do you want a gig Friday night, 3 hours? 200 quid, or if it was in London, 250 quid. And we'd be like, yeah, cool, we've got nothing better to do it. So he'd book a gig for 700 quid, pay us a DJ 250 quid, yeah, and then he'd be pocketing 450 quid profit per DJ, yeah. And he had like 30, 40 DJs on his books out every Friday, every Saturday, and sometimes on Sundays as well. So that was Vern, City Nights Discos. And another guy who sadly passed away now was Keith from, what was it? Disco Solutions, that was it. Keith, very good mate of mine, him and his Mrs. Max, sadly passed away. But he used to get a lot of gigs in London. And I don't know where, like, everyone booked these people online. But the gigs that were getting booked, man, it was another level. We're not talking about pubs and clubs. We're talking about stately homes, multi-million pound properties where you're set up in the converted barn area while the waiting staff are like saying hello to all the guests. And we turn up to these gigs, and same again, he charged 400 or 500 quid a gig and pay his DJs 250. But everyone was happy, everyone was getting paid. But that's what it was like. Some of the places we used to DJ, mate, lords and ladies. And, you know, I turn up at the time, I had some battered old transit van covered in rust, and I'd turn up and I'd be like, hello, I'm here to do your disco. So it was a bit like that, but it was funny. Yeah, well, talk about that one in a minute. Just looking at my little cue card, guys. Terrible memory. So anyway, yeah, I'll tell you about this other gig that I did. So Keith's cousin Damien also did a bit of DJing, and he had gigs set up where he'd have DJs, and he'd use me as well as Keith would. So he booked me this this gig at this sports hall, right, in Reading, and it was and he booked me for the wedding. But what he didn't tell me was, he said, "Oh yeah, he can play kids music to the kids for a couple of hours, and then do a main DJ at the party, right?" And it was this wedding in Reading, and he booked me. I turn up, and I set the stuff up, and then the groom and the bride come up to me and goes, "Oh, are you going to start like doing your magic tricks and stuff like this?" I said, "Magic tricks? So what are you on about?" He said, "Oh yeah, the guy we booked said that you do like all magic tricks and stuff for the kids and stuff." And I said, "Nah." I said, I've DJ'd a few kids parties, but it's just DJing." So straight away, off the back foot, they're annoyed. You know, they're peeved. They're not getting what they're paid for. Matey's got the 500-600 quid, paid me 200 quid, and landed me in the crap light. You know. So I said, "Sorry, no, I don't do that. I do kids DJing, and I do normal DJing for weddings and parties." So, "All right, okay, you'll just put some music on it." So straight away, wedding reception, they're annoyed. Yeah. Anyway, play little kids music, blah blah blah. Get onto the main DJing. Now it was a really hard access to get into this place. You had to take all the kit through on a trolley, up a lift to the first floor, across the top of the gym. Really annoying. But the point of that will be apparent in this next bit of the story. So we set up, and every day, there's not many staff at this place. And I start DJing. Everyone's having a good time. Everyone's at the back of the bar having a drink. I'm DJing along. Everyone's dancing. And then the groom's sister turns up, right? The groom's sister turns up. And she goes, "Oh," she's been a right idiot, yeah? And she goes, "Oh, can you put this song on for me now, please?" I went, "Yeah, not a problem." 2 minutes later, "Can you put this song on for me now, please?" Yeah, all right. By this time, I'm getting annoyed with her. She goes, "Oh, can you put this song on for me now?" I said, "Wait a minute, love." I said, "I'm in the middle of a set. I'll put it on in about 3-4 songs." And she went, "No, I want it on now." I said, "Well, look, you're just gonna have to wait." Sorry. Being polite to her, yeah? You have to wait. I'm just in the middle of a song. She's getting really annoying. She goes, "No, put my song on now." I said, No, you have to wait." She went, "Right, that's it." She goes on the dance floor where everyone's dancing. She goes, "Everyone off the floor, off the floor. I don't want anyone dancing. He's not putting my song on. Everyone off the floor." Right? So she's cleared the floor. Right? And then she stood there having a drink, laughing, going, "Ha ha, nobody's dancing now." And they're not going to dance till you put my song on. Right? So anyway, I get round to it. I put her song on. Yeah. And then she gets everyone back on the dance floor, and they all start dancing. You can already build a picture up in your mind of how it's going to go, right? And what kind of woman she is. So anyway, everyone's dancing, playing music, and then she comes up to me and goes, "Right, put my song on now." I went, "What song is it?" She went, "This." I went, "I'm not going to put your song on." I said, you cleared the dance floor already. Yeah, you're mucking up the disco." I said, "I'll put it on in 3 or 4 songs. Just wait." Yeah. And then from that, she's cleared the dance floor again. "Everyone off the dance floor, get off." This and that, right? And then she's gone up to her brother, right? The groom. And what do you think she's gone up and said to her brother? And the brother is about 6'4", bald, probably 20 stone on a light day. Just another one, right? And she's gone straight from me, straight up to her brother and said, "Your DJ's just told me to F off. I've asked him to put a song on. Your DJ's just told me to F off. What are you going to do about it?" Right? Not the case at all. And he's looked over at the disco and no one's dancing, but he doesn't know she's already cleared the dance floor, right? So that she's behind this whole thing. Anyway, I'm stood there DJing, having a drink, waiting. Yeah. Who comes across? The groom. You see him from the bar and he's looking over at me. I can see him from 20, 30 meters away. He's looking over at me like that. You know, that look they give. Like that. And he's come over to me, right? He's marched over, bearing in mind it's his wedding day. Okay. He's come over to me, he's marched over, he's gone boom, boom, boom. boom, like this. And he's just he hasn't asked me what's gone on, hasn't seen what's going on, trying to keep the peace or anything. He's tanked up, he's had a drink. He's come up to me, he goes, "If you ever tell my sister to F off again, I'll kick your effing head in. You effing whatever," yeah? Come over to me like that. So I've looked at him, say his hand's there, and his head. I've looked at him and I've gone, pick the microphone up. Let's say this vapes the microphone. I've gone, "Ladies and gentlemen, the disco is now over." Backspin went, stood there, looked at him and just gone, "It's the end of your night, mate." And he went, "Oh, you're this and that." I said, "I don't care. You've just threatened to kick me head in. Your disco's over. Your sister's lying, and you just come over to threaten me. Thank you and good night." Start packing down my kit, right? At this point, everyone's reared up at the wedding reception because it's quite a rough wedding reception. They reared up, and the groom's ready to start trying to fill me in, and the sister's kicking off, and she doesn't know at this point how much trouble she's caused, right? Bearing in mind, it's her brother's wedding and her sister-in-law's wedding. And the brother-in-law for the groom has come over and he's going, "Oh, mate, no, don't pack away. He's sorry, mate. He's sorry. I said, "Sorry, mate. He's just threatened to come over, kick me head in." She's annoyed me all night. She's gone up to him and said, "I've told her to F off," which I haven't. I said, "The gig's over. I'm going. I'm done." All right. So he's gone around. He's trying to calm everyone down. And I'm packing down my kit. And then this is why I mentioned at the beginning why it was a nightmare with the setup. Because I couldn't just chuck my kit out into my van and go. I had to pack it all up, take it in sections, down the lift, through the corridor, this and that. And then people are coming up to me and saying, "Oh, people are threatening to slash your tyres. People are threatening to slash your tyres because you're packing up." So I called the main geezer over, who's running the place, weighs about 8 stone wet, much use as a chocolate teapot. I said, "Mate, you get my kit out of here, because if you don't," I said, "I'm going to ring my phone up and get my mates around here." And the guy I was DJing for at the time was a black belt in karate and had about 20 black belts in karate on speed dial. And bearing in mind, I probably would have needed backup at this because I couldn't get a clear route to my van. Right. So I've just packed my stuff up, taken it out in sections, this, that, and everything else. And the godsend of that party was the brother-in-law. He kept begging me to play, and I said no. I was being respectful to him. I said, "No, I'm not playing, mate. This is why I'm gone." Yeah, but the savior of that wedding was the brother-in-law, because he was keeping the wolves back, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like if it kicked off that night, I probably would have ended up in A&E. All my kit would have got smashed. My van would have got smashed up. The tires would have been slashed, and that's the kind of gig it was. So that was the nearest it ever got to where I absolutely completely got done over. And then come the end of it, I looked around, and you know the sister that was causing all the trouble, she was in tears, mate. She was crying her eyes out because she knew she was the reason the whole wedding reception was ruined. And she was saying, "It's all my fault. It's all my fault." Yeah, it was your fault. If you're watching, it was your fault because I never told you to F off, and you went and told your brother that I did, and that's why the whole gig got cancelled. So just another day gigging, mate. You know what I mean? How is everybody out there? Hope you're all doing well. Feel free to comment and answer any questions you got. So that's enough about gigging. I had a couple more stories, but nothing too major. And then I decided out of gigging, I wanted to pursue being a singer, obviously, but like my my own original stuff. So I started recording, and I found this geezer that does recording. So £50 an hour. Turn up to his place, and he records your vocals and your guitars, sends it to you on your computer, and you got a CD. Anyway, I put out an EP. For those who don't know, it was 3 tracks of an album that I was going to try and release on iTunes and stuff like that. And I went there. You know, Anne? I went there and recorded this album. Now, as I'm recording it, you know, I'm expecting to turn up to this recording studio, and what it is, it's a room in his mum's house. Okay.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, a room in his mum's house, and I've looked at the little metal bin at the bottom, and he's got like an empty bottle of vodka there, and there's an half drunken bottle of whiskey there. So he had a bit of drink problem. Anyway, sound guy recording me stuff, and I'm like, cool, see you later. He tried getting us to sign to his label, but I said, nah. I said, I'm not interested, mate, because I could just see the setup. And anyway, I went to a local pub in Southampton and did an album launch. Okay, so I said, look, I'll come here, pay me £100, and you'll get a free night's entertainment, and I'll do my album launch. And it was advertised for a couple of weeks, got my mates down, everyone turned up. But it was on Facebook at the time. I'm not on Facebook now, but I was. And it advertised, oh, Justin's releasing his album down at this pub. And everyone knew who I was because they'd either seen me singing and playing guitar or DJing, doing karaoke. So I've turned up at this bar, and halfway through the gig of me playing guitar and stuff like that, halfway through the gig, matey's rocked up in a taxi, the vodka drinking recording guy. He's rocked up in a taxi. I've gone, you all right, mate? How you doing? What are you doing here? Right, and he's come to the gig because he thinks he's got some kind of right over my music because I recorded it with him.
The hell?
Yeah, he thinks he's going, oh, I said, yeah, I'm doing a little album watch. Wouldn't you come in for a beer? And he's coming out a beer. And I think he went to come to kick off. I think his initial thoughts were he's going to kick off. But as soon as he got down there, like he shriveled up, like, you know. But yeah, I did an album launch. Everyone was singing, everyone was dancing. I printed out my own little CDs and sold them for £10 a pop down the pub.
How much did you sell?
I don't know. I can't remember. Quite a bit, I think. But then I put stuff on Spotify and iTunes and stuff like that. Now, for those of you that don't know, Hannah, my stepdaughter, she's a singer, and you're going to see when we put a couple of videos out on the channel of her singing, she's going to be producing and recording her own music.
Yes.
And when she's set up and when she's done her tracks and set up, you can check her out on Finding Hannah, her YouTube.
Finding Hannah, go subscribe. I'm nearly at 1,000 subs.
Yeah, she's nearly at 1,000 subs. So Finding Hannah, you're at least.
Oh, yeah.
And you can buy her original music once she's written it, recorded it, and produced it.
Well, I'm just waiting for Christmas so you guys can get me some stuff.
Yeah, we'll get some stuff at Christmas. She can start recording.
Yeah.
So that was about the gigs.
Well, like two little munchkins on the side.
You are. I was exactly what I was saying. That was. And I'm going to type something in the chat here. I'm just going to do. It's the first time I'm using this little chat bit.
I never knew you could do. You can't do that on the phone, can you?
Yeah, that's it. It's so much better.
You have to make a poll.
That's it.
Because people were asking what my Instagram was, and I had to make a poll for it.
Yeah. No, it's good. Yeah, well, like I say, we're using a laptop for the first time.
I prefer the laptop to the phone. It's much better.
Yeah, it's cool. So I'm going to tell you, and this is a warning for you, Hannah, as well. I'm going to tell you the last story I'm going to tell you on this live feed is when I joined a band and we got signed. Okay.
I think you told me about this.
And how the music industry, even at its lowest levels, will churn you up and speak well. Anyway, I went on a website called joinmyband.com, right? And this band was on there, and they said, oh, looking for a lead singer, songwriter, to join a band. And they had about 2 or 3 tracks recorded with no vocals, okay? So I turn up, and I'm in my late 20s at this time, and these guys were in their late teens. They're like 16, 17, 18 years old, but they were slash musicians. They were really good drummer, really good lead guitarist, and an okay bass player that was learning at the time. Hold no ill will about these guys. If any of them are watching, good luck to you guys. Hope you do well. At the time, I was annoyed, and you'll see why. So anyway, I turn up for an audition, and I sing, and instantly they say, yeah, why don't you join the band? Yeah, join the band. Love your vocals, just join the band. So as I joined, they had 3 tracks with no vocals, and by the time I left, we had 12 tracks with vocals, and I'd written most of those tracks, and a few of them were written by, obviously, the other band members. Now, what happened was, we were getting good, we were practicing. I'd sorted some gigs out for us from my contacts from playing guitar, and we started doing pubs and clubs and this and that. We were doing like Guns N' Roses covers with our own stuff as well. And I, the drummer, his dad owned this big diesel yard. He had a fair lot of money and that, and he had his own recording studio in his back garden, and he was starting his own label. Okay, so he's heard us, right, playing and everything else, and he hasn't offered us. He's in his own band as well, and he hasn't offered us a recording contract or tried pushing us in any way, right? And I said, right, I'm going to go to this other place, South Coast Records or something like that it was. And I said, we're going to record an EP. And I paid the money. We recorded a 3-track EP. And the dad of the drummer heard about this. He said, oh, I want to listen to that EP. I want to listen to that EP. Yeah.
Okay. No,
yeah. So we got the EP and we paid to record it. And he listened to it. And 2 days later, he wanted to sign us to the label. Now, he was a bit of a shark, mate. You know what I mean? He used to have like music shops, this and that, and he got stitched up with his business partner, or he did the stitching up. I can't remember. But anyway, he was the kind of guy he was, like, you know, money, money, money. So anyway, he said he wanted to sign us. So we went down there into where he had a sound engineer and everything. And we went down and we recorded all of our album. Yeah. Drums, guitar, I'd come down, do all the vocals, this and that, and then we mix it up. We got about 10 tracks in, and I'm thinking, this is quality. We're getting signed, you know, haven't actually signed any paperwork at this point, but we're getting signed, promise of getting signed and that, and we're just working on our stuff. Anyway, unbeknown to me, his plan the whole time was to get as much vocals and songs out of me as possible, recorded. And then behind the scenes, he was telling his son and the other band members that I was too old for the band, that I don't fit with the band, so they should get rid of me. They should get rid of me, get all the music recorded, get rid of me, then get someone younger in, and then he will sign them. Right?
Oh,
complete
God.
complete backstabbing. And how did I find this out? Well, we'd recorded all the tracks in the recording studio, and I hadn't heard from the lads for a while. I was like, all right, lads, what are you doing? We're going to do any more tracks, this and that? And they're like, oh, no, I can't this weekend, mate, can't this weekend. You know, they're being a bit sheepish about it. And anyway, I went back on, joined my band where I met them. That's how I got contact with them. And I saw this ad. Yeah, all behind my back, I saw this ad. And the ad said, signed band looking for lead singer with songwriting capabilities, available immediately for signed band. Come to audition, right? And it was my band. Yeah. Behind my back, they'd advertised for a new lead singer. Hadn't even told me. Got all my tracks, everything I'd written, all the music, everything else behind my back, advertised for a new lead singer. And I found it and confronted them about it, went up there and had it out with them. You know, couldn't do much to the young lads at the end of the day, but just showed them I was pissed off about it. And it went to and fro on Facebook and this and that, you know what I mean? This is one of the reasons I ain't got Facebook anymore. And it turns out that the dad of the drummer had paid $4,000 to someone to master all the tracks that I'd, like 70% of them I'd written, the music and the vocals, or 100% vocals I'd written, and 70% of the tracks I'd written as well. And he paid $4,000 for someone else to master them and copy and get them copyrighted, so I couldn't touch my own music. And they said, oh yeah, we've remastered these tracks, blah blah blah, everything else, which is where you make them sound really good, like ready for release quality, and totally stitched me up. Now anyway, I thought, okay, that's the end of that. I said, you know what, I've been every inch of this music industry. I've been DJing, clubbing, karaoke and playing guitar, singing. I've been in a band, promised to be signed, been ripped off, been chewed up and spat out. I said, that's it for me. No more on the music side. But let's just say, when that band stitched me over and matey spent $4,000 of his own money remastering the tracks, they never could find a replacement singer. They couldn't hit the high notes that he needed to hit on the tracks that were already mastered. They couldn't change the track. They could change the vocals, but they couldn't change the track. okay, because they paid $4,000 to remaster it, and they couldn't find a singer that had a strong enough voice to sing the songs or write lyrics with any meaning to put to them. And all that happened is the band split up. They done me over. I had a real bad taste in my mouth after it. Everyone went their separate ways, and the band never came together again. And now I think one of them's a mechanic, another one works in a factory doing something, and I went on to be an ice cream man, which will be the next live video that I do. So everyone, thank you very much for watching this live. Hope you enjoyed it. Look out for a lot more singing videos to come from me, Lucy and Hannah. They're sing-along videos, so we're not trying to take over the world. Yeah, we're just trying to have a laugh. Yeah, well, Hannah is. Hannah's mighty though. She's trying to take over the world.
I can't be bothered.
Yeah, you're right though. But look out for our latest videos. We're going to put one out tonight. Who will it be? Me, Lucy, or Hannah singing tonight? And what it will be, a screen in the background, us singing to it, but we want you guys to sing along too. We want you to enjoy yourself. Okay, so you can sing along while we're singing along as well. So look out for these videos. I'll get as much car boot footage out as I can. And like I say, this channel is about our lives. So singing, car booting, buying, selling, how much we make, and everything we do, and some traveling in the future. Thank you everyone for watching and your comments, and I will see you on the next one.
Bye-bye.
Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.